let's just look at S&P because this is what most people are going to be looking at once the result comes out. So this is what I see on the higher time frame. This is daily right now, okay? Potentially prices just in this overall area, right? We're not, and this is kind of what the piece was telling me, at least, is that we're potentially having a double top, and this looks to me as an M-style pattern, okay? Top of the overall kind of price action. We've been kind of moving up since the COVID drop, and now we've already moved up above this point. So I'm going to make a forecast. Doesn't really matter what the result is. I'm looking at it straight from a market perspective. If this is going to be the next bearish move down, right? And then looks like it's already approaching this low. If we see price just breaks the low and then, continuation falling out, then yeah, I do see most of the indices are going to have this bearish move, okay? And looking at this point of view now at the intradays, you're not seeing too much, okay? Though potentially there was a short here for the downside if those of you got in. But we're approaching this low now, so it's certainly not going to just jump into here anyway. You want to wait for this election to happen. Whatever the result, is it going to have volatility to break through? And then is it going to pull back, form a correction? And then look for the next sell, right? Next sell continuation, right? And that's kind of how I see a potential from the indices. From most of the indices, they're going to have that bearish push, but especially on the dollar, right? The US indices, this is kind of what I'm seeing. So very true. Good. So that's what I see on S&P. So let's go to NASDAQ. So very similar if we jump to the higher time frame. NASDAQ actually climbed up so much more after the COVID, right? You can see price has been going up. But same idea is that price is potentially forming this M-style pattern I talk about many times over. And potentially this is that bearish push. Are we going to break this previous low and then continue downwards? Yeah. If all this happened, all this news come out, and then it pretty much push most of the index into a bearish kind of a trend now, then yeah, I do see that continuation down a little bit lower depending on how it's going to take from the overall result. Okay, so do I drop signal in my Telegram group? No, I post analysis and I do these streams, so I don't post any signals in the Telegram group, okay? But we do interact on any trades, and of course we go over them in the group chat as well, right? Everyone likes to share different analysis, and we as a trader take a look at them. So let's continue this. So that's NASDAQ, and then last one, Dow Jones, and pretty much similar. Okay, what I've seen similar is that still that M-style pattern double top. And if you look at what has happened before the COVID drop, right, this is one that looks actually going to be the most pattern repeatation, is that you're seeing the same kind of move, right? You're seeing the price has been pushing up and up, but it's in more of a ascending kind of structure. And then we're seeing this double top M-style pattern, and then the COVID happens. So this is around that time where we're getting to this point. Price has been going up, and then we're getting this double top, we're getting this M-style pattern. Is this US election going to continue push the price lower, right? And we'll only be able to find out when the news comes out. So I'm happy to be not in any trades now, not in any positions. Likely not going to be any until after Tuesday at least, and then kind of go from there from this point forward. Okay. So any question on those? If not, let's go into our main things, right? Let's look at all the dollar pairs. I'm going to look at mostly this week. I'm looking at the dollar pairs and the yen pairs. Really, not much is on my watch list, but obviously this all depends on what will happen to the result. See what market take us and go from there. So let's go through dollar index. So dollar index, if you guys recall, is making a potential buy from here, right? Talking about that we have. Price has broke out this overall descending channel, so a correction for this move overall, and we broke up and looking for a continuation to at least push to the next top. Okay, and really, if what I'm seeing at least from the dollar at this point is that we could potentially continue going up and break this previous high, and then fall on going to a bullish kind of trend. Okay, and if we look at the higher time frame perspective, Like the previous low is around this area. Price has been really consolidating here, and price has been moving up and then another correction. So I do see this possibility to push up and then kind of watch out for what the price would do at this previous top. And that will give us the most kind of the obvious kind of point from this point forward is this the big impulsive move and we're just getting a correction and this is still going down, or we're going to get on the full kind of a bullish move and this is no longer a correction to go down. It becomes a reversal correction. We push the price up, break the previous high, and then continuation going up this point forward, and potentially looking at this as an inverse head and shoulder, and then we're getting the pattern. We're going to get the reversal from this point forward. So that's what I see on dollar index. Okay, so still not quite clear on what it will do, and that's why I'm happy to just kind of wait till what happened after. Okay, and this is the key now is to just be a little bit more patient on these setups, right? You're seeing some potential bias, but wait for a little bit more confirmation, and that will give you just a better risk reward buy, a better position to enter. Okay. So let's move on. Let's just go through a few dollar pairs. Although I'm not sure if you guys are in few of the dollar pairs. I myself is not anymore, so I just got out of my positions. I'm happy to just wait for a little bit more development. So Aussie dollar, if those of you guys are interested, if we look at the higher time frame, still looking pretty bearish to me. Okay, we have this impulse, correction, impulse, and then just a smaller correction here to push the price lower. And what I want to see is, can price reach to this previous low? Okay, and this is where the key to see if the price is going to potentially bounce off of this area and then forming reversal to continue forward, or this is going to be forming a continuation correction and we break the low and then we just continue low from this point forward. So happy to see what the price will do this week. If we get the dollar strength, like I mentioned, then most of these dollar pairs are going to get strength and we can potentially just see continuation this point forward. Kiwi dollar, so very similar, even better price action technically than Aussie dollar in my opinion. We have this double top right here, and price is in this overall ascending channel. So you have this ascending channel, we have this M style pattern, have this bearish push down, and then continuation correction in the making, and potentially we can break out this and making this a head and shoulder pattern. Okay, this is what I see on pretty much this upcoming week or next. I do see this push out, and if it push out, then looking to capitalize this move. Okay, so for now, looking at the lower time frame, was in one of those Kiwi dollar pair, and then price was just a little bit erratic in this area, so I'm happy to exit out. And look, potentially maybe one of you guys got into the short position. I'm not sure, but be careful because we're approaching this low again. Right, price can reach this low and then just having a reversal of this point forward, but structurally still looking pretty clean for that continuation. So Kiwi dollar, that's that. Let's go to Euro dollar really quick. So Euro dollar actually broke out this overall ascending channel, so which is good. We had this overall impulse move, and we had this correction, and price is breaking out. I think one of you guys mentioned you got in this sell, so I do think it's good because you broke out this higher time frame structure. We had this impulse, and then you had a correction after breakout, right? One of my entries. So do you think it's valid? Okay, I do think it's okay, and just that you have to be careful. Is the price going to hit this low and then start bouncing, because we're pretty much close to this point forward, right? And then price can just trickle down, and then next 1 or 2 days, not much movement in the market, and then when election comes out, and then price. The market reacts to whatever, and then we start seeing this potential reversal, and that could take you out or just take you out for break even. So be careful at this point, okay? Same thing with dollar index. Dollar index we broke out, and then I'm expecting this to continue to push up more. And euro dollar is usually going to be a mirror, right? So it's going to be pretty much breaking this point, and then see if we can just continue lower and then form correction to continue. That's what I want to see if we're going to get that. And then that will be pretty good trade, because there's really not, will be the next previous low. Okay, so you got lots of room for this. You like these kind of price where it moves up and then just be a period consolidation, and this just becomes a big correction and reversal correction to push the price down. All right, so that's what I see in euro dollar, but for now, just looking to wait a little bit. You see this reversal correction, you have this impulse, correction, impulse, right? So it looks like it could just be an overall consolidation to push the price. And this is the previous kind of the top area as well. So potentially just forming a double top and then we can continue lower. So euro dollar, let's look at pound dollar really quick. Pound dollar, I think it's some of you guys just watched this that was mentioned. I do like pound dollar, but I don't like the fact that we're still in this overall kind of a larger channel, right? Because you see this first impulse on a higher time frame, you see this overall correction, which is good. You're expecting the next impulse and move to happen in the market, but because you can see that in the lower time frame, we had just been this overall consolidation for a really long time. Even some of myself included was in one of those short, but I just see that the structure is just becoming a larger structure, and the swing high and lows are very likely to happen. And I don't want to get trapped in here anymore. But overall, you still see this move happening in the price. So you were just waiting for a confirmation from the market. When is this piece going to finish? Are we going to get that impulsive breakout, breaking out this small structure and breaking out this higher time frame structure? And that will be if waiting for a good lower time frame structure, a little bit more tangible to develop, a little bit more structurally, not just like some small little flag or something like that. You want to wait for a structure to build and then look for the next sell. Okay, and looking for the dollar strength. If that's going to happen, then we're going to get pound dollar to continue dropping and wait for the correction to get in. So that is pound dollar. Let's look at dollar CAD. So dollar CAD reaching to this previous top already, right? And I think one of you, a few of you guys maybe got this the buy here. I personally didn't. I was looking at this buy, right? And I mentioned once price break out of this overall higher time frame structure, look for a lower time frame correction to buy. So correction after breakout. So this time I do. Those of you got a good job. And to me, it might just be forming a larger structure here. Okay, just another continuation structure that price is forming before the next continuation. Okay, now I don't just have to be careful at this previous top area. Okay, because anything can happen once the news comes out, and you don't want to get into the trade. Price just push up a little bit and then start dropping this point forward. Okay, so be a little bit more careful on this one. To me, there's other ones that look a little bit better. Okay, and still wait for just wait for the result to end, wait for the market to calm down a little bit, and then get into capitalize on these. Okay. So let's look at dollar Swiss. So dollar Swiss looks pretty good. Very similar like dollar index. I just go dollar index, right? Dollar index, dollar Swiss, very similar, right? So you're getting this overall reversal correction for this move, and you had this overall impulse correction. We're potentially breaking out. Potentially, this can be the next bullish run of the market, right? You're breaking out, and is it going to consolidate here? Yeah, it looks like it's going to consolidate till when the election happens, and then looking for a potential buy. And this is an inverted head and shoulder that the price could be developing. Just seeing how the right shoulder will develop, and looking for the buy would be good. And then looking at the higher time frame perspective, zooming out a little bit here, price has been just in this overall range, but it's good that we're at the previous kind of a low area where price is consolidating here. This is a good chance that price is not likely to break any lower, and now we can be getting a reversal kind of price action, and we can slowly going up from this point forward. So dollar Swiss is that, and let's look at dollar Chinese yuan, because some of you guys mentioned this one, and I do still like the overall price action. We're at this double kind of bottom area. Price is not going any much lower, and we're pretty much in this overall descending channel or falling wedge. So a reversal price action and price breakout here. And then looking at this as an inverse head and shoulder, this is the right shoulder. It can be making a flag or a continuation structure and looking for the next buy. Okay, looking to see what the price would do at previous high. And then potentially, if you just zoom out on the higher time frame, that there's quite a bit risk reward, quite a bit room for the upside, right? You're just at this bottom here now, right? Price can just continue up forward this point forward. So that's what I see on this one. But shortly, even for a short term, I do see this potential buy could be very probable. It looks like the price is doing exactly that. And we'll get to that. We'll get to that in the next 2 days and see how the market reacts. Last one is dollar peso. So dollar peso, we're in this overall kind of a descending channel now. Before, if you guys recall, I was looking more as this could be a continuation to bring the price down. But as the price continued to develop, because as structure continued to evolve, I'm seeing this more as a correction, a very deeper kind of a neutral correction. We had this kind of a double bottom here, price break the low, pop to the upside, and then start getting squeezed into this descending channel, falling wedge again, and recent double bottom and price pop to the upside. Very similar like Chinese yuan that we just went over. And then if you go into lower time frame, price pop to the upside, and then just want to see what the price is going to do this point forward. Is it going to be forming a correction to continue push the price up? Very likely. So this is already a very good bullish push from the lower time frame. We had this overall kind of a corrective structure, and then first bullish push up. Looking for a first bullish continuation would be very ideal for this one. And again, very good risk reward to the top. Okay, even just this to the top, you get 4 to 1, 5 to 1 minimum. But if you're looking at this from a higher time frame perspective, if this is going to be a reversal structure rather than a continuation, this is a continuation like this, instead becomes a reversal correction to push the price up, then you potentially could get this breakout from this higher time frame structure and continue to push the price up. Okay, no, very likely that can happen as well. Okay, you're seeing the same kind of structure, right? This kind of descending kind of structure. You're going to see that in price action all the time, and this is before the COVID happens, right? When dollar gets strength, and we will find out once the election is over. Is are we going to get dollar strength, or are we going to get dollar reversal from this point forward? All right, so that is all the dollar. I think we went over all the major dollar pairs. I'm not interested in dollar yen. If some of you guys are interested, I'm not in dollar yen, or I'm not too interested anymore when price is kind of just in this overall consolidation. I don't see if price is going to break this or bounce off this, but only when the result will help. Okay, and that's why I'm not kind of staying out of this. Dollar, Singapore dollar, still looking it's correcting in this area. So a couple other dollar that look a little bit better. Okay. So that is all the dollar pairs. Any questions on those before I just jump into a few yen pairs and just other ones? That's pretty much all I'm watching for. Just mostly watching all the dollar pairs, right? Most of the dollar pair for either continuation of the strength in dollar, or is it going to get possible reversal? Okay, at this point, at least for me, I'm still looking at most of the dollar is going to get strength. Okay, most of the dollar is going to get strength. To me, that's kind of what it looks like. It potentially is getting that strength from dollar, and most of the dollar pair looks pretty similar to that fashion. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. That's dollar pairs. Which time frame do you suggest? Weekly, day, 4 hour? Pretty much exactly what you mentioned. Weekly, day, 4 hour, 1 hour, half an hour, 15 minute, 5 minute. That's usually the time I use. So you can see on this top left, this is what you can store them at, right? You can just put this as you start them, right? So. Okay, so let's continue. Let's look at Aussie Kiwi. Some of you guys were talking about this, and I still is on my watch list. I do like what it is doing. I like this clearly a descending channel that the price is correcting. I want to see if it can correct all the way down to this previous bottom. Okay, the longer and deeper this correct, the better this buy would be. Okay, it's very similar. This is how price works, guys. Once this correction continued to the bottom and it's getting squeezed and getting pushed to the very downside, and you're just looking for that first kind of an impulsive move on the lower time frame and looking for that lower time frame continuation, this is always going to be a very valid buy. Okay, so look eager to see what will happen in the upcoming week. I do expect price getting a little bit squeezed. If we do see price pop to the upside and lower time frame continuation, I would still consider this. Okay, we're getting pretty close to the bottom. It's just that if it correct all the way to the bottom here, it would just be a very better buy or natural buy for me. Okay, I will be even more comfortable buying this from this point forward. Okay, so that's Aussie Kiwi. Let's look at a few yen pairs. I know most of the yen pairs are probably on you guys' watch list as well, and they're in mine as well. Okay, so look at Aussie yen for a higher time frame. If you guys know, we've been talking about this move forward, right? We have this overall ascending channel. We had this first impulse move correction, first impulsive correction, and then this was the COVID drop, right? So obviously, we're not getting the COVID kind of momentum, okay, but we are getting this impulsive phase of the market as well. Now we had this lower time frame correction here as well, so potentially price can just continue lower to this previous low. Again, very similar like Aussie dollar that I want to see what the price will do at this bottom, and then potentially is it going to reverse from this point forward or just breaking down continuation. So that's what I see on Aussie yen. And if we just drop down to lower time frame here, price is a little bit corrective. Remember, we're looking for a short from this point. This was the overall correction from this move. And then we have this impulse and then potentially building a correctional structure here. So likely to just correct here for the next 1 or 2 days and then look to see if it's going to be that impulsive continuation from the lower time frame. Aussie yen, let's go to Euro yen. Euro yen on the higher time frame, I still really like Euro yen. It's just never really give me an opportunity or consider an opportunity while the price is in this, or even if it's dropping from this point forward. Okay, so but from a higher time frame perspective, I really like it still. I like this higher time frame double top, and then we had this really head and shoulder pattern, and then we had this impulsive move, and then followed by a continuation correction, looking for this next move continuation. So we already dropped out a little bit. So naturally, if it's going to continue, wait for a correction to continue moving forward. And I do like the overall structure that we're in as well on a higher time frame, more as like kind of expanding kind of flat structure. And if we just zoom out even more, that this is just one impulsive move, and we're just getting a larger correction and looking for the next opportunity to downside. Okay, so that's Euro yen. And pound yen, very clear as well, right? Pound yen still really want to look for this next short opportunity. Overall higher time frame, already been talking about this many times. We have this impulse, larger correctional structure, overall ascending channel. We're at the top of the structure, and then this is the first impulse, right? Looking for the first correction. We got this first correction, and is this going to be the next impulse down continuation? On the lower time frame, to me, I like that price fully break out from this structure here, but we haven't break the previous low. Okay, price is a little bit erratic here. It's a little bit consolidating and looking like it could be some sort of head and shoulder pattern inverse to push the price up, and that's why I prefer to stay on this one. But looking at the higher time frame, you still has also room to the downside. So just want a little bit more confirmation from the market, and that'll be good. So waiting to see if price will break this previous low. Okay, if it breaks previous low, then looking for a correction here would be nice. So impulse, correction, impulse, continuation. Last one is Kiwi Yen. How long have I been trading? 7 years, probably 7+ years. I like how you base analysis not in indicators. Yeah, I don't use indicators, by the way. It's just a more raw way to look at the market. I just don't like them to be on. It potentially give me conflicting biases. Okay, so it's better to just uh, analyze the market in its purest form, right, and then go from there. So Kiwi Yen, if we look at the higher time frame, we're in this overall kind of a potential descending channel, but price is pretty much not showing any bullish momentum at this point. We had this potential go up, push up, but price is more in this neutral correction, more neutral sideways channel, and we had this first impulse, first correction, looking for that next impulsive move on the market. And if we look at the lower time frame here, this was that correction I talked about, impulse correction, impulse, and currently just kind of consolidating in this area. And again, I know I've been repeating this, but I do likely to see the price not move too much during this period of time before the election finishes, and that's why it's just not too clear to me to even go up or down at this point forward. I know I draw the structure like this, but doesn't mean that I have to maintain this way, right? I could just start going like this or whatever. So don't jump into these ones, guys. It's likely to just be like this for a while, okay? But ultimately, I still see this potential downside very clearly as well, right? We had this impulse correction, looking for the next impulse. If we break this previous low, this low here, and looking for a continuation, it's just going to be very clean to me. All right, that is Kiwi Yen. Do you use other indicators to analyze your graph prior to entering for more confirmation, etc.? No, really. This is not indicator, of course, if that's what you're asking. I, of course, use these kind of tool to calculate positions, yes, but I don't use indicators, if that's what you mean. Yeah, I don't use any indicators from the indicator thing. I'll use these tools, I'll use trend lines, I'll use these horizontal lines, and then arrows and things like that, right? But I don't use anything indicator-wise. Formula calculating, if that's what you meant, I don't. So, and it's not that I don't work. Of course, everyone can entitled to use whatever that works for their trading. It's just me personally, I don't. So let's move on to EuroCAD. Okay, EuroCAD falls into my weekly this week because I like the overall structure that we're doing, overall price action. I do see that this is a big impulse, correction impulse, and we're just getting more of a parallel ascending kind of channel structure and looking for the next impulsive move. And this potentially, if we can break this previous low, then continuation to the downside, very likely. Okay, looking at this on a higher time frame perspective, in order for this move to continue, this has to make a correction to continue upwards. Okay, I don't see this continue upward to this point forward. Okay, I don't even see this as a potential move to the upside anymore. I used to, but I don't see that anymore. I do see this potentially make one more low to the bottom and then potentially go from this point forward. So this does, so it does fall into my watch. I like this impulse out, but it's a little bit erratic, see, during this period of time. And again, likely to see that happening for the next 1 or 2 days. But if we get confirmation, if we see the market settle down and we're seeing that in a bearish move, then I might look to getting this bearish momentum. So that is that. So let's move on. One more one that I want to talk about, Euro Kiwi. If you guys recall, Euro Kiwi was last week or previous week that I mentioned about. I made a video on that. Anyways, we're at this overall structure now. I expand the structure a little bit because as we know, structure ever evolving. Now that this potentially is a bottom for the structure, I originally had structure in like this. And then once we break out and if there's no continuation correction to go, instead the structure evolves into a bigger structure now. And that we could potentially get this push up from this point forward. So looking at this, even dropping down to lower time frame, originally I was looking at this as that right shoulder, right? Those of you guys looking at this was the inverse head and shoulder that I talk about, and I wanted to see if price can break out from this point. We did get that. It wasn't like this, the one that happened before. Very clear inverse head and shoulder, break out of the right shoulder to continue up, but this time it did not. But don't discount this because this can just be the impulse, and this is just a more kind of a parallel channel or a descending channel just correcting itself all the way down and then continue to move upwards still. Okay, and structurally from a higher time frame structure, nothing changes. You're getting a period of consolidation here at the bottom, and then price continue going up from this point forward. So that's what I see on Euro Kiwi. Okay, and that is pretty much it. I don't see any other pairs that I'm looking at, unless you guys are seeing some that you want me to take a look. But that's all what I'm seeing, most of the dollar pairs and most of the yen pairs as well. Okay, so moving on, I just want to jump to, I guess I'll jump to gold because most of you guys are probably thinking about gold as well. So let's talk about gold really quick. So gold higher time frame, I'll start higher time frame again because I keep, every time I talk about this as a reminder to everyone is that although we're looking at this probably short, I think most of you guys are probably looking at this as a short. So impulse, correction, looking for the next short. But always do not discount the fact that there's a potential larger structure in the making from a higher time frame. This is just a continuation, just like a continuation, right? There's continuation all the time, just like this is a continuation. Okay, so don't discount the fact that price can be making this larger continuation on the higher time frame. Sure, we're gonna get this next-ish bearish move for a while, and then breaking even the previous low. But once we see the price in this kind of formation, potentially you're gonna get the next reversal. Okay, so that's what I see on higher time frame perspective. But lower time frame, I think most of you guys are looking for a sell, and I do see the sell is also very probable. We finally break out this overall structure. If you guys remember, I got into this sell when the structure was here. It was a very good sell to this, and I get out this trade once we break the previous low, because I understand that price is likely to make a larger correction if it's going to go down. I mean, sorry, if this smaller correction is not enough for the price to go down, it's likely to form deeper correction, which it did exactly. And we finally get this impulse move out of this correction here. So impulse out of this lower time frame correction. And looking to see if price is going to develop another correction here. Because we're getting to this previous low already, just like this previous trade I took, I know that when we're getting to the previous low, you want to be careful. Is price likely to form a deeper correction, or is it going to be starting getting that reversal from this point forward? So that's why I see on gold. Short while, yes, if it's formed some sort of correction here, I do see that. But once it breaks the low, then you want to be careful. Move your stop accordingly. If it's going to continue to drop, great, right? You'll hold the trade. But if it's not, then look to take profit or look to get out of the trade, because, like I said, it could just drop to the previous low, and this is that larger correction I talk about on a higher time frame, and then potentially just getting the reversal from this point forward. Okay, so that is gold. Any question on that before I finish with just a couple crypto? Okay, couple cryptos. Okay, couple cryptos. Okay, so Bitcoin. We're pretty much at this previous double top area, potentially, okay? Obviously, price can continue. I'm saying that we're at this area now. So this is an area for attention. And if you really ask me, just like how I said about my bias can be wrong, guys. My bias on the dollar is strength, right? Which means you're likely to get bearish move in crypto. That's just how the market has been playing out, at least. That when you get dollar strength, you're usually getting crypto bearish, right? Okay, so to me, this is where the area is very crucial now. We're disregarding all this. We're just looking at this overall price action here. You're getting this overall kind of scoop kind of formation. You're at this previous double top now. And price to me is somewhat very consolidation. Okay, this can be like a ascending channel, just correctly moving the price up. And potentially you're going to get that next bearish move from this point forward. Okay, that's kind of one way of seeing this. Okay, and of course, this is if the dollar gets strengthened, I'm likely to see Bitcoin and most of the crypto getting a more of a bearish move. But of course, if I'm wrong and the dollar is weakened, then we'll potentially just break up and then form a continuation correction and continue to move forward. And you want to see that because you want Bitcoin to reach the next top, right? I mean, the previous top. So if we break out, if we get a continuation correction here, something like this in that size, right? We'll give it a couple of weeks and continue to push the price up, right? You want to see it. You want to see when price break that previous top. Very crucial. You want to see price to develop that continuation pattern, right? Continuation. Okay, so you want to wait for that one. Okay, so either way, if it breaks up, good. Wait for that consolidation and go for the buy. If it does not, if the dollar gets strength, then look for that bearish buy from this point forward. That will make sense as well. Okay. So all it will determine if we see the result, and that will give us some more clarity from a price action point of view. It's interesting because most of them are just at the area where it should continue from dollar strength perspective, which means that from at least for Bitcoin perspective, what I'm seeing here, that potentially this can be a reversal from this point forward. But too early to judge, of course. Too early to make any bold judgment on that. Okay, so, but that's why I see. Okay, we'll see what happens after Tuesday, Wednesday, right? We'll see when the market comes down, and we'll go from there. Ethereum. Price is not dropping anymore, right? I was originally seeing this as a potential correction. Okay, this was the first correction after we break out this larger correction, and potentially we're making this overall bigger structure now, which is good. So is this going to continue going upwards? Okay, and only time will tell, only the next few days will tell. Okay, I'm just gonna name another one I really like, which is Link. If you guys recall, this was the original buy that I got in for a loss. Price is just developing into more of a parallel channel structure now, right? We're seeing these very similar price action over and over again. Okay, so very likely that this is exactly what price is doing. We could just potentially get the next buy from this point forward. Okay, and that is it, guys. That is all the crypto that I have on. Not too much. Again, just waiting for a little bit more development from the market. Okay, so do you see a potential buy in Ethereum and Link? Okay, but Bitcoin, I'm still a little bit skeptical. I don't like this kind of structure. It looks like it's more of a reversal structure to bring the price down. Okay. And that is it, guys. That is it. So mostly just focus on the dollar pairs. Mostly just see what the price will do, and then I would not likely to get into any of these trades until after the result happens, after the volatility comes down a little bit, then I will look for possible entries. Okay, so that is pretty much for this week, guys. And I likely to do a daily outlook, probably on Tuesday, maybe during even New York session or so. Okay, so I plan to do that Tuesday during New York session. I'll make the links and stuff like that. I'll post it in my Telegram, and then we can talk about the market during that time a little bit and see how the market reacts, and go from there. Okay. Any questions though, guys? Any questions? I'm happy to answer any questions. Like I said, those of you guys who are new, I post all my all my analysis in my Telegram, all the live streams, all my lessons, all the videos in my Telegram as well, and that's all on my YouTube channel as well. So if you're interested, click those. And yeah, that's about it. Any question from anybody? Happy to answer any questions. Those are good questions about indicators, right? And there is a question about other things. Oh, someone messaged me or private messaged me. What is your favorite dollar pair going into it? My favorite dollar pair, well, let's just look at it from a higher time frame perspective. Okay, my favorite dollar pair, I'm gonna just scan through all these so you guys see what I'm talking about. My favorite dollar pair upcoming will be Kiwi dollar. Okay, why? Because structurally it makes the most perfect kind of a price action to me. Okay, just zoom out here on Kiwi dollar. Price has been in this overall kind of a descending channel. We popped to the upside, but there is no continuation. We pretty much are just getting a very clean kind of a double top. And then price is in this ascending channel, okay? And you have this very clean, almost like textbook head and shoulder pattern. You have this M style pattern, which is a reversal. You have this impulse, you have this correction, looking for the next impulse, at least to the previous low. Okay, this will be pretty good risk reward for the upcoming week or so. Okay, it doesn't get better than that. It just looks very clean to me. The cleanest, the most simplest setup that I can see. Of course, if the dollar gonna get strength, they're all going to move, right? It's not just going to be Kiwi dollar. But if I have to pick one, if I'm gonna pick one, I'm going to choose Kiwi dollar. It just looks the most perfect to me for the upcoming dollar strength. Okay. How did you go about learning getting into Forex? Just like probably how everybody got into, right? You probably see some ads or social media things, right? This is back in 2013 or so, I think. To be honest, I got in just exactly what I said, just looking at other people's YouTube or on Instagram or things like that. Um, but it truly is not until I've been there a couple years that I realized how hard trading actually is, right? And I'm very honest about it because, of course, I can't change how the industry is. I can't change that how there's people out there teaching it like it's a simple thing you can do, but it's really never like that, right, guys? If you're in trading for even just a few months, you would know that trading is not easy as how most people prescribe it as, right? And then you can see why most people give up in trading after they lose money or they blow their account several times. So it's pretty simple things, right? Pretty honest way to see about it. But I personally been through the ups and downs in trading, so it's just about your threshold. Can you um, withhold all the failures or all the negativity, and you still be around after a few years in trading? Then you're going to be consistent, and things will take off for you, right? But most people, it's like a business, right? Most people think trading is a business. Is correct because most business won't make money for the first 5 years, right? It's whether the business owner want to stay in that or not, right? And if they do, then the business rewards them. If not, then they leave, right? So for me, trading is exactly like that. You're gonna go through failures in the beforehand, and if you're able to maintain, you're able to be still in the game, then you're going to be consistent later on, right? So that's how I see about learning and getting into trading. I think that's really my honest feedback on it. Don't take it too easily because trading is really hard. Trading is going to be the hardest thing you probably ever done in your life, right? It's like getting harder than getting a doctorate degree, which people spend 8 to 10 years to study, right? So you expect an 8 to 10 year kind of level of education in like 3 months to finish. It's very hard, right? But that is what the society is, guys. I can't change that, and I don't want to down talk any of those, but that is the industry it is, right? That is how social media has already prescribed any kind of trading is like that, right? So especially when a volatility such as indices, one tweet can blow the account. Yeah, I mean, I guess you can say that. Yeah, I mean, Trump has that power to just send a tweet and then it changes. I remember when he got on maybe a year ago. I mean, sorry, when he in his first year of presidency, I just remember this clearly. I wasn't in this trades or anything, but I remember in Twitter he just mentioned he thinks the dollar is too strong. And then after he tweeted that, and then dollar just becomes bearish. And I'm just like, wow, one man can really change the market, huh? Like as a joke, but like it literally did. On his Twitter account, he just tweeted one sentence and it just changed, right? Which is amazing. I was kind of laughing about it, but you know, that is how the market is reacting, right? So loss is part of the process. I learned. Yeah, it's exactly like that. So yeah, I hope I answered that question, Pro FX. That's how my journey is. I even made a video about this as well, about my journey. If you're interested, follow my YouTube. You'll find out about it. Okay. So any other question, guys? Before I end the stream, I will do another one. Like I said, Tuesday, New York session. I'll post the links in my Telegram channel, and I'll see you guys there. If on Tuesday at least, if you guys are going to have time. If not, all the videos are uploaded to my YouTube, right? And TradingView. But YouTube be a better way to watch it. So make sure you watch my YouTube channel. Yeah, no worries. Okay, everyone. So like I said, not any trades. Okay, and likely not going to be any trades until the election is over. At least the result and the volatility settles down. Then I will look to capitalize on some of the dollars and yens again if they present themselves. Okay. And that's about it, guys. So any other questions, let me know in my group chat, and then I will talk to you guys next time, all right? So thank you very much, and have a good week. And just be careful out there, okay, on your risk, all right? Thank you very much.